Nepal Tea Collective, please share your screens.
Hello.
We can see your screen.
Can you see my
Perfect.
screen?
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let me put up a slideshow. And yeah, against the flip timer. I couldn't believe I would make a difference because I was too small. Those are the words of Greta Thunberg. And those are the words that inspire us as DDA Consulting, as a team of young, passionate people looking to change the climate, to make an impact in the climate change narrative. So this is our team here. I'm the project manager, Danish, with Demi as our client service specialist and Abdullah as our research lead. So we're working with Nepal Tea. It's Nepal Tea Collective, a company that ships tea. Is a public benefit corporation that distributes the freshest tea from Nepal all to the around the world, but also looking to actually eliminate the middleman in the trade for tea, because that has caused a lot of problems for producers earning less money. So Nepal, our problem statement with Nepal Tea was, in a world where climate change and global warming are very prevalent, the Nepal Tea Collective decided that they should play their part in creating a non-zero carbon emissions world. Therefore, they asked us, DDA Consulting, to come up with the solutions and tackling these solutions. What is ours? The project is to create a plan to calculate carbon emissions from tea production and find solutions to offset the carbon emissions produced throughout the tea production and shipping from the Nepal Tea Collective. So just a bit of overview on tea origins and production. So all tea is made from the Camellia sinensis plant, but Nepal tea comes actually from the Nepal region. There are different ways of actually making the Nepal tea: thud, tear and curl, or orthodox method. However, our project partner, Nepal Tea Collective, actually uses the focuses on teas made using the orthodox method. So here's kind of an overview of how orthodox tea is actually made, from plugging to transportation, weathering, rolling, drying, in order that you may get that nice aroma and appearance in your tea. So the main farms that looked into or collaborate with Nepal Tea Collective are the tea farms in Japa, Lam, Pancha, Salukumba. So what are our solutions as DDA Consulting, helping our project partner? It is to identify the carbon footprint, find plants with strong sequestration, and also choose shipping companies with sustainable practices. So I was handling this solution that involved identifying the carbon footprint. Nepal Tea Collective wanted to know, how much carbon are we actually emitting in our process of transporting and exporting tea from Nepal? So we calculated that the total production emission per year was around 220,000 pounds, and this is of carbon. And then the total shipping emission was 3,000 pounds. The net assimilated carbon dioxide from the plants, that the tea plants actually absorbing carbon dioxide from the environment, was around 120,000 pounds. And upon calculation, we found that there was 103 net carbon emission in pounds and an 85.8% carbon emission, of which Nepal Tea Collective and DDA Consulting are looking to reduce this number. I'll call my partner Demi to handle the next slides.
Thank you, Danish. So I'll be focusing on finding the plants with strong carbon sequestration abilities to help offset the carbon dioxide produced throughout tea production and shipping. Next slide, please. One plant that we found was turmeric, which was able to reduce carbon emissions by 60% when used as a biomass, and also be productive for the farmers as it's used as a good dietary supplement, profitable to the farmers and the company. Next slide, please. The next plant that we researched was bamboo, which can act as a huge carbon sink. And as we were doing our research, we found out that it can sequester up to 2.03 tons of carbon per hectare each year, and it's native to Nepal. Next slide, please. The next plant was aloe vera, which we found that had a low percentage of released CO2 compared to other plants, to help purify the air, and had a high carbon sequestration rates compared to other succulents. Next slide. And these are some of our other options of plants: the neem tree, okra, basil, mint, coriander, garlic, and bojo. Next slide, please. And our third and final solution was to find shipping companies that had sustainable practices, and 3 of which that we found were Convoy, Transfix, and the Mazurik Eco Delivery option. Thank you. And that's the end of our presentation. And this is just a chart showing multiple shipping companies based on their prices and carbon emissions across the market. And thank you.
Thank you so much to our Nepal team. I love the team name DDA Consulting. We have our judges to ask questions. I'm just going to give about 20 seconds. Thank you so much for the presentation, and prepare yourselves for the questions that you're going to have. Judges, take it away.
Hi, everybody. First of all, I loved the inclusion of nature-based solutions. It's the first team who has looked towards nature as a solution. But tell me, what was your recommendation to the Nepal Tea Company that then they would plant these plants in kind of a more of a diverse instead of a monocrop, it's a diverse crop? Is that what your suggestion was, or what was the reason for these other plants that sequester carbon, and how would the farmers work that in, or the company work that in?
Our solution was. You may
that.
answer.
So it was based on, so when we talked to our project partner, Pratik, so it was more, the tea plants are normally planted, the tea planting season is from March to December. And what about December to March? That's the off season, the dormant season as it is described. So we said we can also use that season as an opportunity to offset the carbon footprint by planting other plants that are actually able to survive in such conditions, but also have good sequestration abilities. And upon our research, we found those plants to be turmeric and bamboo and aloe vera. And some of these plants, our project partner is actually initiating such programs with those plants, especially with turmeric and bamboo. And our part was to just suggest more plants because we still see a high percentage carbon emission, and we really want to reduce that.
Great, thank you.
Thanks.
Go ahead, Christopher.
Thank you. Thanks for the presentation, Team Nepal. I have a question to each of your team member. Anyone rather. I'd like to know which of the 3 recommendations that you have is the most feasible and why. The most feasible option that we would say was planting these plants with high carbon sequestration abilities. Because of the shipping companies, lots of them tend to have higher costs, and international net zero carbon emissions shipping is quite expensive and not very feasible at this time. So the best option we said was to plant plants with higher sequestration abilities, but also to identifying the carbon footprint helped the basis for these other solutions, as we needed to see the actual numbers and the pictures of how much carbon was being emitted. Okay, thank you.
Hey, thanks a lot for the presentation. I'm curious to know, have you done a little bit of research of, let's say if they were to plant, I really love that you use really clear numbers of the emissions that they are at right now. Have you looked a bit at okay, post them planting bamboo or for that other season, to what number would the carbon emissions reduce?
Thank you for the question. We haven't looked into that much far of the future because most of the calculations were based on 2022 statistics that we got from our project partner. And most of them as we look into like the net assimilated carbon dioxide, they actually have a program also in place where for every package that is sold, a tree is planted. So it's more like as a way of offsetting that carbon footprint. So when we got the plants that we suggested, it was based on the research from research papers that we read. But I guess it's a good recommendation. And I really appreciate it that we also need to look a bit more forward with the solutions that we have, especially through the research. How much carbon offsetting could the potential plants that we recommend actually produce or take out from the atmosphere?
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.